What's up, lifters, grifters? Today I want to talk about basically, this is just gonna be a super quick tutorial video, basically discussing a common deadlifting mistake. Not just deadlifting, dude, it's really any pull from the ground, whether it be a snatch, a clean, a deadlift. It could literally be anything, dude. It all basically revolves around doing the deadlift as a hip hinge versus doing the deadlift as a squatting motion. Now that sounds crazy to some of you. You're probably like, deadlifting, squatting your deadlift, like what does that mean? It's super simple. I'm gonna explain it to you guys. So this is super common. If you're scraping your shins on deadlifts or cleans or something like that, you might be making this error, and it's all in relation to your proportions and leverages. So dudes with naturally really short femurs are gonna be able to have their hips lower on any pull from the ground versus guys with maybe a little bit longer femurs, longer legs. If you're a bit more lanky, you probably have experienced this, okay? I'm not necessarily the most lanky guy. I would say I'm somewhere in the middle between stocky and lanky. Like I'm literally probably right in the middle. I'm gonna go over to the barbell and show you guys this. It was discovered because I was watching my friend, we were working out and he was doing deadlifts and he was pulling his deadlift in a certain way where he was having his hips down. We want a vertical bar path on the deadlift. His deadlift though was coming up here. Once it got to his knees, it was coming out and then back, right? And then it went up. And when you have a horizontal bar path like that, it's not vertical, it's a little bit horizontal. You guys can just think about this. If I hold a weight close to my body like this, it's lighter versus me extending my hand and holding that same weight. It's gonna feel a little bit heavier. It's the same thing with the deadlift. It's a really simple error, a really simple mistake. A lot of beginners make it. I was doing it slightly. My friend, I would say he was doing it a little bit more. And yeah, and another thing I wanna mention, be careful when watching people on the internet because you see these guys, I'm gonna use these guys as an example, the Chinese weightlifting team. They like to have their hips somewhat lower, not necessarily, just lower than normal on the deadlift. And that's because, or on pulls from the ground. That's because they have shorter femurs, right? Shorter legs, better proportions to do that and get strength out of it. It's not that they're doing the lift wrong. They're doing it actually right in regards to their proportions. So when you watch lifters online, be careful not to completely imitate exactly what they're doing because you might not know why they're doing that. And they can be doing it for a reason that is specific to them or it applies to them and it doesn't apply to you. Anyway, with all that being said, I'm gonna stop talking. We're gonna go over to the barbell. Try to really watch my bar path and what the bar does. And yeah, I'll explain everything. So see you guys there.
Okay, what's up guys? So we're over here with the video. So again, I wanna really emphasize that watching this bar path here and then watching my hips and where they are in regards to the pull. Now, this is going to be mainly for deadlift. I do want to emphasize something that I forgot to mention in the intro. For things like the clean or the snatch, your hips are going to slightly go a little bit lower. Like the deadlift, your hips are probably up higher than the clean, and in the clean your hips are probably a little up higher than in the snatch. I just wanted to make sure I clarify that. Your hip height isn't always going to be the same for any pull from the ground. Although this tip does work for any pull from the ground, it might be a different degree of elevation in your hips. I just want to make that clear. So as you can see, I have my start position here, and this is already pretty fine, but watch what I do here. See how my hips sink down? So we were watching in that video of Lu Jiajian, the weightlifter, his hips were pretty much like this, right? And his femurs are so short compared to mine that he basically is still right over the bar in this position. But for me, as you can see, my arms are kind of dangling out in front of me. My hips are back, they're low, and watch the bar path. So the bar's here. So as you can see, the bar, when it comes up, it also comes out slightly, okay? So remember, center of gravity, the bar is going to move the easiest when it's closer to you. So that's why they always tell you keep the bar close. That's a very good cue. But when a lot of us here keep the bar close, we think, okay, keep the bar close, and then we lean back like this. But yeah, so as you can see, the bar goes up, it comes to the knees, and then obviously this is super exaggerated, and then it comes back up. But this is literally what some people do. This is what my friend was doing. Okay, so that's the wrong way. As you can see, I do my little shaking my head no in absolute shame. So my hips are low. Look at what I did. All I did is I brought my hips from being down here in basically a seated position, and I just raise them up. Something I forgot to mention here, what raising your hips up is really gonna do for you is watch also my chest as I raise my hips up. My chest also kind of comes over the bar. And that's a great cue to remember for those of you who kind of have a hard time understanding the whole hip thing. Just think about having your chest over the bar, and naturally your hips are going to come up. Along with having the cue of keep a straight back, you're going to have a good starting position from any pull from the floor. Not only is this going to help you get a better center of gravity over the bar, it's also going to help you not scrape your shins. The bar is going to overall go up a lot more smooth and in a straight bar path, which is going to make things like the clean, the snatch a lot easier, because those are dynamic movements where you're going to be shooting the weight into the air and then catching it. So I just wanted to reiterate that because I forgot to say it in my voiceover. Hope that helps. So as you can see here, I have the bar close. My back is still straight. Nothing has changed, but now the bar is moving up way quicker. And the only horizontal movement it's having, look, it's completely vertical up until the knees. Vertical, 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 comes to the knees, and then I'm just bringing it closer to my body. So yeah, again, one more time. The wrong way. Watch the hips. Okay, hips are down low. Okay, pull, the bar goes out, and then it comes back up. Again, that's super exaggerated. I want to emphasize, maybe yours doesn't look that bad, but if you're scraping your shins or the bar feels like it's going too far out in front of you, you could be potentially doing a little bit of this. So again, that was the wrong way. Now let's look at the right way. There we go. See, a lot smoother. I hope this made sense for some of you guys. Again, it's all just based around that start position, basically. Like the video if you guys learned something from this. I hope this all made sense, and hope you guys have a good night. Take it easy.